Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Inkosi Super Cup Season 4 by Nordwing Gaming Africa. I hope you are ready today because it's week 7 of this tournament. Tony and Viper, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Ready to go.
Ready to go, Viper? How do you
Yeah,
feel?
I feel really, um,
You
set
feel
and
lucky
ready
like
to,
Davido?
you know, I really do
If
hope
you know,
I'm
you
as
know.
lucky as that.
If you know, you know.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the event today. What will be going on? Let's check the schedule. We're going to see who and where we're going to fight today. You know these maps, you know them. It's Erangel for the game 1, Sandhawk for game 2, and Miramar, the biggest map for game 3. Let's see the prize pool distribution for this almost last week. So the total prize pool was of $840, but they ate it all, eh? So if you want some of this $105, you have to register now for next week. For the first place, we have $45, second place $30, and third and fourth place will go with a little more than $15. For the team standings, well, they will go with $15, not more. For the team standings, we're going to see who will be competing today with us. I hope I'm gonna see girls. Yeah, the first one is your killer is Undisputed Africa Esports. 10x Esports are back. Royal Demo to Overwatch Esports are here to uh, make a see some big PUBG. No Escape, Nefex Esports, MZR Esports Africa, Knock and Lobby, and IB7 are back to kill it all. For the second page, we're gonna see this week who we got. We got Horse Esports, Final Verdict Esports, La Dream Team. In Ivory Coast, La Dream Team is a really famous team of of people who like to show themselves. So I think we have to see them a lot today. For the 14th, it's Chaos X Kings, Blue Tides, and Blackjack Esports. Then for the point distribution. Okay. We're going to go to the point structure. For last one, 13th and 16th, we'll get 0.8 to 12, 1.7, 2 points, 6th, 4 points, 5th, 6 points, and fourth, 8 points. The third will go with 10 points, it's 12, and the first one, 15, with 1 point per kill. So let's see my fellow Viper and Tony. First, we're gonna see the correct schedule. Sorry, we're going to go at 19 to Erangel. 1945, we're going to Sandhawk, and the last game will be at 30 at Miramar. I hope you're ready to see some really good PUBG because it's going down today. So my guys, my best friends, my best PUBG friends. What do you feel about today? We saw a lot of teams that we already seen in the past weeks. So I think they're ready for blood today. They want to show that they're the best and be. I think maybe go to the promotion relegation to uh, to go to the Umzansi. So what do you think? Who do you think will perform today, Viper?
So looking at the list of the teams that we have out there, I've seen actually a couple of these teams play in the past. Teams like IB7, teams like UAE, teams like Blackjack Esports. And I must say, there are two teams that I've got my eyes on today, and I'm believing they would have a major clash along the line, probably towards the last part of the circle. It's going to be the IB7 and Blackjack Esports. I do know both teams to be very tactical and aggressive at the same time. They do know when to make their aggression count for themselves, and I would love to see how they will make that work today.
What do you think, Tony?
Yeah, there's one of the teams that I'm really looking forward to is, UAE. They've been on fire recently, not just in Conti, but just coming off, winning the competition, the Clash of Clans. A lot of these teams that they're facing are the teams that they're facing that competition as well. So coming up today, they will be in high spirits, when it comes to the game. There's this extra fire to them, players like Inspector and the rest. I also did see Dream Team in there. Um, so yeah, maybe they might be looking to qualify overall into the Umzansi. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one to see if UAE still, brings that spark that we've been seeing from them over the couple of weeks so far. So yeah, let's see how it goes.
Yeah, and I'm kind of sad I didn't see my BBC girls today. Where are they? Did we see the BBC team?
And no, not
I
today. They
don't.
were they were around last week, but not today.
Okay, okay. I would have thought they would be here today, but maybe next week. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. So, do you have any advices for the teams today? Because I know it's gonna be fire today. We're gonna see some good PUBG. So because we have very good strategized teams and very well organized teams that are this game today. So it's gonna be hot. Do you have any advice, Tony, for them?
I mean, for me, it's really simple. Um, if you can get kills early on, then go for it. Go for it. Don't wait. Don't wait to. I know it's quite tempting for every single team. You're like, oh, this is screams. I'm just gonna rotate into that zone, into that space. But if everyone is doing that, then you're making it really tough for yourself towards the end. Um, but if you go for those, few kills and you get, maybe 6, 7 kills early on, even if you finish the game maybe in sixth place, seventh place, you're getting 10 points plus. Overall, that may count for you. So for me, I'll just say go for early fights.
Yeah, yeah. Go for it, but communicate too. Yeah, so I'm gonna see my French speaking audience because I didn't talk to them that much today. Bon, bonjour, déjà je vous salue, ceux qui parlent français. Donc on est à la Inkosi Super Cup saison 4, vous connaissez, c'est l'avant-dernière semaine. On a comme d'habitude $105 de prix. On a vu un peu le schedule, hein, c'est sur Sandhawk, Erangel et puis Miramar, les mêmes cartes que d'habitude. Et voilà, on a les teams les plus fortes qu'on a vues dans les semaines passées qui sont là aujourd'hui. Donc, on s'attend à vraiment un bon jeu. Et puis, on va voir ce qui se passe. Et n'oubliez pas, si vous voulez vous inscrire pour la dernière semaine, vous pouvez toujours gagner les $300. Je dis les $300, les $105 qui restent. Voilà. Donc, vous pouvez toujours vous inscrire sur Inkosi supercup.com. Voilà, allez-y chercher. Voilà, allez-y chercher. So, we're gonna start soon. But first, I want to know if you were to, I don't know, if you were to invent the perfect gun for Miramar, which characteristic would you put in them, Akinyemi?
Oh, you shouldn't have asked me that question because you
Nah.
definitely don't want to know what I've got at the back of my mind right now. So yeah, I'm gonna start from if you know the that's the AWM, the ultimate sniper, the ultimate bolt action in that PUBG Mobile game. I'll take that and then give it a mesh with the M4116. So you have that 50 caliber in the M4160 chamber with that rapid fire and that level of controllable recoil. So,
Yeah.
match those two together with a 6x.
And you, Tony, what would you do?
I think the perfect gun for me exists. It's just not in PUBG. It's in
Uh-huh.
Apex Legends. So the Rampage. So it's
Oh
it's like
yeah.
it's like it's like a DMR, but it can shoot like auto fire. So it's easy to control, but it's tapping on its own. So it's going like you don't have those in PUBG like LMGs Viper, right?
Oh,
I think
okay,
the
okay.
closest to it is like QBU, but QBU is a
QBE.
single tap.
Yeah. You still have to tap it. Yeah, that's the closest thing. Yeah, that's my best gun in playing arenas in Apex Legends. So I feel like yeah, that's one gun. If it was in PUBG, that's one gun everyone would be crocking.
Yeah, true. And the fact that you could even get charged and increase the fire rate.
Yeah.
Anyways, we can see the game is already about to start. And Tony, this flight pattern it's going to punish a lot of teams. So
Yeah, definitely. I was actually thinking that we were going to see more people going into military base, but it does look like we're just going to have the one team. Your killer is. Yeah, the only ones who look like they're going that direction, and everybody else is just heading all the way, across Gatka to hospital, and it looks like there's just a whole bunch of teams there, and definitely, just like you said, they're really going to get punished, for doing that.
yeah, we can see the that South George is looking like it's going to be a beehive of activity. Maybe they would listen to what you said earlier on about them getting those early kills, which is which is which is what I think would happen out here, though.
Yeah,
Because
because yeah, sorry, Mercy.
definitely, because we might see. I think the play they are trying to go for right now is every single one of them does what look like they want to get a vehicle and then rotate
Mm.
into their preferred spot.
Exactly. So I think what most of them are doing is they just realize that the flight path is really close, so they're just gonna get into vehicles, they're just gonna hop in and just move to their perfect spots, and that's exactly what they're doing right here. So you can see, MZR just heading to a location right here. They're about to get some weapons, so they're pretty much getting evil in space with BGE in Pochinki right there. Your killer is there are a couple of teams sitting down. I do think Dream Team and some teams in Novo, so it's going to
Yeah.
definitely be hot in that position as well. So we're going to see some early fights coming down between these teams. There. I do see also two teams sitting down in Milta as well. So yeah, there's going to be some early action going down. I do envisage there's going to be at least two teams being taken out.
Yeah, already you can see UAE is already eating it up hard onto some of the players out there from I think that should be IB7 or Mars. I'm not completely sure about their names. I'll check that up later on. But yeah, UAE already looking to pick up kill points for themselves right now, while RDX, Final Verdict, and Dream Team are still over in Novo, just slugging it out right now. Yet another man goes down right there. That's going to be aimless to UAE. That's just some amazing points picking earlier up in the game right there from the guys from UAE Undisputed Africa Esports, which is lovely to see, lovely to see. And yet another fight is actually just brewing to happen right now over here in Novo. It's
Ooh,
it's
one
amazing,
of the
bro.
players from UAE does get taken down. That's the consequence of over aggression sometimes.
Yeah,
You know,
probably.
with these teams. But this is what you love to see. This is what the teams need to do early on, right here, because you just want to take out those teams early on. But you can see another knock coming right there onto UAE as they do get another player. So I mean, they're one of the teams that I was really rooting for. You understand? Inspector and his boys, have been really good, but a couple of knocks going down right there and just changing things entirely. You can see UAE have lost one player, they've lost Ace. They're still keeping up the battle right here. Inspector, who is always like the leader in that team, not just the IGL, but always making that push, holding up Tobber on top of that building right there. And Tobber was the last one for his team, Viper. I mean, if you're in this kind of situation, what's the best course of action? Just jump and run away, trying to find a way to maneuver,
There
or
is no
would you?
running away out here, bro. I think for now the best course of action would be to just hold that position, find an angle in which it will be quite beneficial to you. You could be able to spot all the moves of the enemies as well as stay out of grenades way, because at this point the enemy team would surely be looking to send grenades towards your position as well as stop you from getting out of that angle, because they know they've overwhelmed your team and it's just you left alone, and they are going to capitalize on that. So best point of action for him would just be to stay put and see us if he can drag this for as long as possible, possibly send a couple of grenades towards their waist, but you just shouldn't give up at this point.
Yeah, so basically he's just got to find a way to keep fighting. He's just got to find a way to keep going. You can see he's I do believe that's him popping out the smokes, maybe trying to find a way out of that particular one, but it's really tough for him. If he does get a knock onto one of the players from UAE, he might be buying himself some time, maybe to get out of that position, or even get another knock. One need into Inspector's position could turn things around, could change the entire game. But UAE are an experienced team. They do know how to play, moments like this. But losing one player, Ace right there, might have not been their entire plan. So definitely they'll be looking to see how things go and, make that push onto Turbo's position. You can see Inspector, being fully aware of Turbo's position right now. Turbo's health is really low. He'll be looking to push into that building, obviously calling his teammates to provide him that support as he's reduced his health a little bit. You can see them finally making that push onto that spot where right now Sahil making that lead, but Turbo got one knock onto Inspector, but it wasn't enough for him as they do finally take their team out.
Yeah, that's one team out already, and we're just barely 7 minutes into the game. Although we can already see that UAE lost one man in that engagement, but to their advantage, they've got 4 kill points already, and they are really looking good on that leaderboard, just in that fourth position. You love to see it. Teams like Chaos Kings, Royal Demo, and 10x are actually one of the teams that I would love for them to actually perform quite well today, because they are sitting on a bit of like 10th, 11th, 12th, and it would be really good for them if they could push up themselves, a little bit further up that leaderboard, to get into, to be able to fully have that spot inside that promotion relegation table, I must say.
All right, cool. So BGE, who's sitting down quite comfortably in Pochinki, does have the team MZR just rotating around their region, and I'm not really sure where BGE is sitting down right now when it comes to the leaderboard. But they're one of those teams who will be looking to get themselves back into the Umzansi. They're one of those teams, who have the firepower to keep going over and over and over again. Towards several different, teams. How do you reckon they'll play today when it comes to you know you know trying to qualify? Do you think they're just going to try to hold things down, or they're just going to go aggressive? What would you say about their gameplay so far this season? But in the meantime, let's take a look at DT, Dream Team up against RDX.
Yeah, it's interesting to see what is happening out here. I think Dream Team is already not looking good on the numbers, as Archer does seem to be it seems to be really, really just bleeding out as it just got taken out right now. And Neptune is out way in the open. I don't know what happened. Right there might have been a stock joystick or something, but definitely it should have been. He should have just got out of that position really quick. But I reckon he will survive it, as Lucy Stark is going to be the last one left. I don't know if it's the last one, but he's just going to be the only one we can see in this vicinity inside that building right now that is being aggressed upon by a three-man squad from RDX. Love to see how that one will turn out. But you did ask me a quick question earlier on. Oh no, that is going down real quick to delusion. But yeah, going back to the question you asked me about BJE the other time, how I think they will be handling this game. Already, just as we are talking about them, you can see them popping off in the kill feed onto NFX already. Um, I would say so far in this particular Inkosi Cup, they've actually performed quite beautifully because I did not see much of BJE from week 1 up to week 4. Week 4, they came in week 4, and currently they are sitting sixth on that leaderboard. So it's really
Wow.
really amazing how they've been able to turn the tides around with just playing about 3 games. I think this is going to be like their third game, and getting themselves up that leaderboard and picking up kill points as they go already in this match. You can see that's about this third kill points they've got right now, and they are looking to actually do a lot more damage. That is another squad they just okay. I think that's like a 2-3 man squad they just wiped. That's about
Mm.
4 key points to them already. And that is how they do it, match after match after match after. It doesn't even matter the kind of map you are currently in. BJ keeps bringing in that heat week after week. At least week 4, I saw them bringing the heat. Week 5, the same thing. Week 6, they are just tearing it apart and climbing that table really fast. So moving forward to the rest of the weeks ahead right now, I feel like they would actually do a lot.
True. So just taking a look at this right now, it did look as if the guys from DT were on the back foot against RDX. But all of a sudden, with a couple of knocks, you can see Poseidon and Delusion are the ones left. I'm not sure how many players are left up for DT, but I still see Stum in this. But the guys from RDX might be able to get that res onto their players right now. And sometimes these things happen, but they're still fighting up in that blue. They pretty much just have to get out of this one and just retreat back into that zone. But onto BGE, yes, just coming in, like you said, in that fourth week, being able to make their way up on the leaderboard is pretty impressive. But that's something you do obviously see from a team that does have the experience, in competitions like this, and obviously wants to get back onto the top right
Yeah,
there. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's just been beautiful from them as well. But as this is just going to be happening, we can see this fight is taking a bit of a toll right there. As we've got Dream Team, RDX, all trying to make their way into the zone right now, and well, we can see a couple of the teams out here like Final Verdicts already sitting almost in a position where they feel comfortable right there. NFX also about to get an hello, how are you doing from the guys from Blackjack Esports, just directly above them. 10x will be holding just down southwestern of school. Looking to see where the next circle is going to pop. And boy, that circle, bro, this is going to punish a lot of teams.
Man, just taking a look at the position where Evie is seated at, as well as Yo Killer is. Yo Killer is the only team that probably looks like they can get towards that central position quite quickly. A lot of these teams need to sort of like make that long rotation through that bridge that's the only one in the zone right now. Imagine if Yo Killer is does decide to gatekeep this. There's a whole lot of teams, a whole lot of kills that they can get, although I wouldn't advise it. There's so many different rough raw teams that are going to be crossing through that zone right now.
Yeah.
So for me, the best thing for them to do is just get into that zone, get into like a safe spot, get yourself into that top five.
So looking at this, if I were to be a team playing in this, I can already see the remaining teams doing it right now. A lot of teams would rather opt to go and take that other bridge inside the zone than hold on to this bridge that is outside the zone. But it would have really been nice if YK, that's your killer, is have set up a perfect ambush onto that single bridge in the zone. They would be able to actually pick up a whole lot of points in that one. But we'd love to see how that one is going to play out. As your killer is currently prioritizing, getting well set inside that zone as well. And a lot of these teams are actually now making their way in deeper and deeper. As you can see, UAE also coming in, and we are having a whole influx of teams on that second. Oh my, that second bridge right now. You can see, and the zone is dealing a whole lot of damage as well as the next zone is about to pop in right real quick. This is going to be a disaster for majority of these teams because play zone is going to be OP in this one, just taking down players after players.
Man, this is really tough. Like you just saw like every single team just deciding, you know what, we're just gonna leave that obvious, easier route, which is the bridge that's in the zone towards the one that's outside it. And some of them are even taking out the fights when they don't have to. You can see FV just pulling up next to Horse and taking them out. Man, it's incredible because the same fight that we're avoiding, not crossing the other bridge, it's the same one that they met right here.
Yeah, calls like this are really kind of difficult to make because fine, you as an IGL in the team will probably look at this kind of map and be like, yo, this single bridge that is in the zone, a lot of people are probably going to be going in there. I don't know if you get understand what I'm saying. Like a lot of people are going to be camping
Yeah,
it.
true, true, true.
But me, if I happen to be an IGL in this particular match, what I would have done would be to get close to the bridge, not entirely be inside of the bridge, but I will get close to the bridge and listen for sounds and see if I can catch a movement here and there to understand the situation of what is going on in that bridge before I make a final decision to go outside the zone towards that other bridge. Because it's quite obvious that a lot of other teams might be thinking what I was thinking, to go inside the zone and then we are back to square one, which is exactly what we see happening right here.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. You can see Tech Raider and his boys up against MZR right now, but it does look like Blood and Cole will just be retreating, getting into that zone, getting into the vehicle, and trying to prioritize that above everything else. And they got to make their move right now because the zone is pretty coming and it's going to be doing a lot of damage. We still got a lot of teams compared to what I was expecting at this particular time, especially with all the fights that have been going down. I didn't think we were still going to have 11 teams, but there's been damage done on every single side. You can see Creature. I'm like, I'm wondering how he's still alive. I'm wondering how he
My
hasn't been knocked out
question,
yet.
my question is, what was he thinking? Like, what exactly was he thinking? Did he think the teams were just going to let the kill go like that when it's obvious they were going to still be on the bridge looking down towards his position? His vehicle was quite obviously in the open, and you still went out with little to no. Oh my, oh my.
And
What were you thinking, bro?
I think it was rather optimistic. He was optimistic about the chances he had to revive his teammate. Those times within your team, you have this person who is probably like your fragger, or just the person who usually makes things happen, right? And you don't want that person to die because he's like the leader and they're knocked down. So you get desperate to revive them, to bring them back up, because
Yeah,
yeah.
that's one of the calls you have to make as a leader in certain situations like this. When you see it is going to be a major disadvantage for your team, because in that kind of situation, now losing an additional player is a major disadvantage for your team. The best course of action would have been to actually tell your player, yo man, I am in a really crazy spot, I don't see any way out of this one. Make your way, find your way into the zone. While you are even knocked, probably look for a way to get your team playmate, like plan a course of action and get them into that zone. But we can see a lot of Michael Phelps out here as BJ is just going to be picking them up one after the other right now.
My goodness. Even if he doesn't get a knock onto Gatsby, obviously Gatsby is gone. I don't see how Gatsby is going to survive that. Being
Yeah.
under the water, she's gonna start bleeding, or he's gonna start bleeding. It sounded like a girl's name for even it's he's gonna start bleeding. And Hinata, obviously that's a girl's name. There's no guy gonna be bearing Hinata.
You'll be
Uh,
shocked.
well, 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 who knows?
Oh,
But
Hinata
anyways,
could be the difference, bro. Hinata could make the difference.
woo!
Oh no, that was so close though. Yeah, Blackjack Esports at this point is just going a fishing.
They are seriously fishing. Gatsby is trying to do everything to survive. Gatsby is currently even using the boat, coming out, getting some air through that boat, and blowing up that boat definitely does do the work right there. As yeah, Gatsby finally does get taken out. Man, BGE is currently just fishing right now. They're just fishing.
Yeah, the hooks are out. So you know it's quite funny what they have going on right now. He left Zane. Zane was actually inside the water, pinpointing the position of the enemy for
Mm.
Cheddar. Like it's just a beautiful teamwork going on right now. BJE setting up right here. I don't know. While UAE is deep inside the zone, putting in the work, just getting the kills left, right, and center onto your killer is, and there's still 9 teams alive. Zone 5 just right now as Zone 6 is about to pop in 20 minutes down in this particular game, and we are looking to see more actions right now, Tony.
Yeah, just like you said, you can see the teams who are already in that zone. MZR, your killer is UAE. They're all going at each other, right? They're all sending out different shots onto their positions, and the zone's gonna be shifting. Any moment from now. We also see the guys from RDS getting taken down right there. So we're down to just 8 teams left. The team from 10X are still in this one. BGE is still going to be putting in some damage onto them. MZR also as well in that position to make them pay. So there ain't a whole lot of survive. I'm not really sure how they're going to get into the zone. They got to fight between BGE and MZR as well, man. But if I had to choose, I obviously would choose, going up against MZR than facing Cheddar at this particular point in time because he's just absolutely on fire in this lobby. And that's the decision that they're taking right now. You can see Logic moving on to that position where a full team is already camping in that building and they're looking to force their way into that zone. It's a really tough one for them. I'm curious to see how they do play it and if they find a way into that zone.
Yeah, the BJE has a lot on their plate to worry about right now. You can see directly from up the hill, you've got UAE looking down hill towards them, taking this shot and dealing a lot of damage as well. As you can see, MG is going to be leaking a bit of his wounds right now. Azag the Smokes is doing a lot to actually help them, and Zane is also putting in that DP27 action to just ease off that pressure that's currently being put onto them. And Riggs is also behind them, could play spoiler right now if they are not too careful. But I think they've spotted him, and Riggs is gonna take down a player right in his sights. But I don't think he'll be able to survive that for long. Blood goes down to Riggs real quick, and it's looking all shades of wonderful right now. As PJ is looking quite strong, but oh no, I think Clutcher is going to spot them out in the open. We might be seeing some retaliation shots coming out from Cheddar in a bit. I like how BJ has actually been able to stylishly and sleekly get their way out of the water, take down a couple of kills. I think they are on like 9 kills right now. And they are still heading on towards the zone with not much cover to actually work with. They are just perfectly and sleekly moving in the perfect timing, bro.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do need to do. You can see the MZ are taking a different approach, trying to get into that zone using the vehicles, but getting caught up, by BGEMG. He's got a couple of shots being popped at him, but with the smokes already being placed, it does buy him the time. Probably he's not going to get lobbied there. He might get revived by his team. I do tell a lot of people that sometimes if you want to attack, sometimes just pop out of smoke. If you do get knocked then you at least buy yourself time, for your teammates to get that revive onto you. So sometimes it is what it is. But the guys from NZR found a way to make their way into that zone. They're next to your killer is. I'm not exactly sure what Blood is doing as he just moved right next to Killer, and exactly just as I predicted, he does get taken down by Killer right there. The guys from your killer is can begin to put in the work onto them. You do see Clutcher trying to get that revive. He does need to do that quite quickly. They bought themselves some time as they've taken down Killer right here. Hasbot will be looking to get that revive onto his teammate, and that does buy MZR some time to sort of like make their move right here. It is pretty much BGE versus UAE at this particular point in time. Two heavy hitters within this game, and your killer is versus MZR. Maybe
You
after
know,
that, they will both focus on each other.
Tony, one thing that is still baffling me right now is how is BJE still alive?
I really don't know. I mean, I thought the guys from UAE were going to shoot at them while they were trying to get into that zone. Like, for me, I'm like, were you guys sleeping? What was going on? But
Like at this point in time, they are just charting their course really smoothly. Like, what is going on? How are these guys? They are actually just making that approach slowly but surely. They are inside the zone right now. They are making that approach slowly but surely onto the guys from UAE. And check it out, they are even about to make their attack known. But
Woo!
that need Inspector, bro.
Inspector
Ah, yo,
and his
yo.
names. Inspector and his name. I keep
Nice, MG.
saying this. Oh my goodness.
Oh, oh, this is a close one, I must say. I think MG will be able to bring himself back up. I don't know what the odds are for Cheddar. Anyways, three teams alive, three strong eaters right now. Blackjack Esports, UAE, your killer is on each angle of the map right now. And just seems like UAE has that hilltop to work with, but I not much cover from that angle, I must say. They just need to bob in and out and with some bullets on this one. Your killer is also on their angle looking to see if they could get a couple of shots in as well. While we've got BJE just down beneath you. They're just down beneath UAE at this point. Oh, it's a really tough triangle right there. It's really tough to actually predict for me as well, because you can see UAE's just got two players up alive, while the remaining teams has three each. Eh, I'd love to see how this one is going to turn out, Tony.
Yeah, they do have to get another knock onto, for me, another player from BGE. Make sure that they do get Cheddar out of the game. BGE is in a tough position. You do see the guys from um, UAE are on their tail right now as they do take out a couple of players from BGE, and well, do take out the players from BGE and now can focus on your killer is. Your killer is sitting in a comfortable position as well. They've got the numbers advantage at hand. They've played this one quite smart, right from when they crossed that bridge quite early. They did have some luck on this side. They were able to rotate quite
Oh,
to a good position within that zone and take out the guys from MZR who were pulling up, from behind from them. BGE was quite unlucky there as they were just pretty much, at the disadvantage when it came to position while trying to make their way up. You had the guys from your killer is on their right, and on their left you had UAE. They did manage to take out one of the players from UAE, but that nade from Inspector just turned and changed everything around. Now going into
yeah.
this final fight, you do see Inspector with his comrade right there trying to pull up onto your killer is, and this is where things now begin to become
No, what the
interesting. But that
heck?
need,
This is the push
oh
they
my
need.
god, just look at that. Oh
This is
my
the push
god,
they
this
need. They
changes
need to get
everything.
in there now, and that will
Oh,
be it. Your killer
oh
is, bro.
wow, oh wow,
Nine
wow.
kills. That was a really,
Wow.
really nice match. The
I,
last
I
three teams played it really nice.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when they were down to three teams, I didn't see your killer is because they didn't seem like they were really in the game throughout when it came to fights, but they were in the game when it came to positioning themselves from day one. So I actually thought it was going to be BGE or UAE taking this one home, but GG's to them. Finding a way to fight against people that were putting up to them like MZR, and then finally taking the victory at the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah, that was quite an interesting match. Really interesting. Because, yeah, like you said, I thought that BJE was going to win, actually, because they were so persistent. They were really tactical towards the end. They played it very discreet, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. So, what did you think about the first game, Viper? It was really interesting.
To be honest, the first game, nothing too surprising actually happened out here. Majority of what the teams that actually finished in that top three, top four was what I was expecting to see. And yeah, I do hope along the line we are going to be seeing some, wildcards getting pulled out, and love to see some 1v4s as well.
Yeah, yeah. What about you, Tony? What did you think was lacking? I think maybe for IB7. I don't know. I didn't quite see much of them today. What happened? Do you know?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of teams did what we hoped they would do. Like Viper said, it wasn't really surprising. They took on a lot of fights, and sometimes you win or you lose this ones. It's never going to go your way all the time. And we saw that teams were not afraid to push, and they weren't waiting to the last moment before they take on those fights. So sometimes it doesn't just go your way, but you just have to keep on going.
Okay, all right. So I think we're gonna go on a break before seeing the standings. We want you to wait a little. We want to make you suffer a bit. So we already know the three first. You know your killer is UAE and BJE, but we are going to see the standings and the points right after this short break. See you. Hello, everyone. We are back to the Inkosi Super Cup Season 4. We are going to start the game 2. But first, we are going to see the previous game standings. Who won, who was at the top, and who was at the bottom. We're going to know right now with this beautiful standing list. So, as we saw in the first game, your killer is the first with 15 place points, 9 kills. That makes them 24 total points. I think I'm talking too much. Fire, can you take us through these standings?
All right, so we do see the guys on Yokila is coming in first position right there, taking this one down with 24 points in total, getting themselves 9 kills. Doing pretty well for themselves. It did look as if, the guys from BGE were going to take it out as they were just totally farming that entire lobby, getting themselves 10 kills. I did feel like they could have gotten a lot more, but UAE just were the stumbling block to them with Inspector and Code getting a knock on them quite late on and just changing the entire game. Just see the guys from MZR as well, who sort of like were trying to get into that zone, but they got gatekept by Yokila Ears and got taken out. FV as well. Netflix Esport getting themselves 6 placement points, not able to grab any kills. Tanks Esports as well. Royal Demon, Dream Team also having a tough time today, and Overwatch Esports grabbing just 1 point. So moving down into the next table, you do see Knuckle Lobby and the rest of the guys, including IB7, who is high up on that leaderboard, getting taken out quite early on by UAE in Milta, as we saw in the last game. So a lot of these teams from No Escape to Chaos Kings, did really have a tough time, not able to grab an immense amount of kills, but they will be looking to get themselves more points in the next one.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Fire, for this wonderful standings explanation. So we're going to go on Sandhawk now. How do you feel that is going to play today? As you saw the first game with Undisputed Esports, IB7 wasn't at the top today. What do you feel we're gonna see on the second game, Tony?
I think we're going to see, guys like, IB7 coming back and trying as much as possible to play their best, to show why they're on top of their overall leaderboard. We're also going to see UAE and BGE try to, make up for the first game that they lost slightly, against your killer is. So yeah, it's a close quarter game, but it's going to give a lot of teams the opportunity to show their real fight, and yeah, that's what you expect from Sanhok. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah, what do you think, Viper? Who's your preferred team for this second game?
Um, At this point, I think I might actually be inclined to, bend towards the guys from Blackjack Esports, seeing as they've actually been able to wiggle themselves out of a lot of tight spots and, put themselves in some pretty amazing positions. Although I didn't get them that winner chicken dinner the last game, but it did get them a boatload of kills. And in San Orc, this is one of the things that you want to really play on. You want to play on that positioning and then the decisive knowing how to evade enemy shots and enemy positions. So I'll love to see how they would do on this one.
So let me explain to my French speaking audience again, once again. Donc je vous salue encore, hein. Donc on est pratiquement au deuxième jeu. On va passer à ce deuxième jeu là maintenant. Ça va bientôt commencer. On a vu les équipes Blackjack Esports. On a vu Undisputed Africa. Your Killer is en premier sur la team standings du premier jeu. Ils se sont montrés assez performants. Certaines équipes vers la fin se sont essoufflées, mais voilà, c'est les équipes fortes qu'on a vues durant les dernières semaines de compétition, et cette semaine, elles performent encore assez bien. Donc, on va voir comment ça va aller à la suite. Et je vous rappelle toujours, si vous êtes une équipe de PUBG, s'inscrire à la Inkosi Super Cup. Il reste une seule semaine. Donc, vous pouvez toujours le faire pour pouvoir gagner le Winner Winner Chicken Dinner. Vous allez sur le site de la Inkosi ou le site de Notwing Gaming Africa. Tout sera bien expliqué en anglais, mais bon, la Google Traduction, hein, c'est tranquille. Et c'est gratuit. C'est gratuit. Donc, n'hésitez pas, c'est très sympa. Voilà. So, we're soon going to push to the game. And we're going to see who will be the best. I got my eyes on IB7 and 10X. Who you got your eyes on, Viper?
Um, IB710X. Well, I might be inclined. Normally, I might be inclined to follow what you said, but I will still stick with BJE as I said, and
Yeah.
maybe UAE as well. Love to see how they work though.
Okay, so we're gonna see what's going to happen right now. They are deploying, and you are going to take us away.
Okay, yeah, Tony. See, we have another flight spot that is a bit to the west right now, but this is Sanok. It doesn't really matter where the flight path goes, I must say. And as I
Yeah,
say, as I always tell my co-casters, like every time I always say it's I always love to see which team is going to boot camp and paradise.
yeah, because those are the two hottest places, and you can see already BGE trying to cement that position. Just it's exactly what you do expect from teams, who want to be aggressive, right? Who want to dominate the game. They go into boot camp because somehow, for some reason, it's always a lot of times tends to be in that zone. I guess it's just the way the map is. Once you're in boot camp, you just know you either you're in that zone somehow. I've hardly ever seen. Or do you think it's even possible for the zone to be placed in such a way that boot camp would be in the zone?
At least the first zone.
Yeah, at least the first zone. At least the first zone. Not sure where UAE is at this point, but uh, yeah, I guess we'll find out as we begin to progress. But BGE up next, up right here with the guys from CHK. Okay, no, it's not actually CHK. No, it's not them. It's UAE that's with CHK right here. About to let
Yeah,
it loose.
the
All
Chaos
right.
King guys. Yeah, it's early games though. Early fights in games it's really something that is difficult to predict, especially if it's not teams that you commonly see every time being together. But at this point, UAE does seem like a team that you want to support. But I've not really seen much right there from Chaos King. Although I think they are like 11th on the leaderboard right now, so they might not be one of those teams you want to toy with as well. And yeah, UAE does seem to be spreading out quite well, looking for the angles, trying to cover every single angle. As you can see, Sahil off on the distance, and Inspector does making that move, as you said. It does seem to be the man calling the shots right now. He's pushing himself forward. Gotta be careful because Ace is a bit off in the distance away from him. And that setup the guys from Chaos King has got going on right now could be really, really dangerous for them because they are not making much of movement right now. Minato could come in with you know, that jutsu to just move like lightning right now.
Yeah, I'm always scared of teams, who don't make too much movements. You can see Ozafai in a position where he can begin to put in some damage, and you can see that's exactly what it is. As they do get one knock, that's what you do expect from teams who, are always in those situations where they're quiet, they're waiting for that opportunity to pounce, and you can see that's what they've done to Ace right now, as they have taken Ace out of the game. They've gotten that lobby, and no matter how great a team you are, want as long as you can just wait for that moment. It's just like a tiger just waiting to pounce. No matter how big the prey is at the right time. If you can hold on and you can play as a team, then you can take them down. And that's exactly what they've done. You can see Inspector still looking for blood right here as he is still trying to get a knock or two. I'm not sure he's got a nade, because what you usually expect from Inspector is that he will be flinging out the projectiles at this particular point in time.
Yeah, this is still pretty much early in the game, so I wouldn't expect too much of throwables at this point because each one of Okay, okay. I think I might hold that back a little bit as I just had a need. Going out real quick, but you love to see how this one is going to play out. I do love the fact that immediately Inspector and Sahil are taking the fight on the right side. On the left side, you've got Minato already looking to actively hold that left side and possibly, get that quick flank into them. It does shows that this Chaos King team has some dynamic thinker amongst them. Like, is actively thinking while they are getting pressured from one side. So, place that pressure on the other side and get some sort of sandwich going on right now, maybe turn the team into an hot dog, with the buns on the side right there. But it doesn't, like, UAE is an experienced team and they are already resetting really quickly to accommodate for that such movement that you can see going on right now. It's a tough one, I must say.
Yeah, definitely a tough one. But I do like the way the guys from, KS are pretty much set up. They're just holding out different angles, trying as much as possible to cover each other as much as they can to surprise the guys from UAE when they're making up that move. And that's exactly what they did initially. Not a lot of times do you see teams who can hold off the attack coming in from UAE, and that's what they've done. You can see right now they just decided, we're just gonna push away from this. What happens to some teams sometimes is that, when they do get a knock onto one of the teams, they're
Oh.
like, they begin to panic and they begin to tell themselves, hey, you know what, this is UAE, and we're just gonna get out of here. They might still be able to take us, and I feel like that's what's going on right now. They do have the numbers advantage, so they definitely should be the team pulling out of this one. They've taken out one of the players. They should be holding on. But they obviously deciding, what, it's better off not to attack the guys from UAE and just pull into that zone.
And to be honest, I wouldn't blame them for actually pulling out of that fight because they are not in the zone. They're probably not well looted up. And UAE, as you can see, is definitely not going to make it easy for them to, just finish up that fight without having to pull out. So I reckon they just put two and two together and like, yo guys, let's just get into the zone, probably get a few loots along the way, and then if we are going to have to take the fight, we'll take the fight while we're inside the zone. Because if the next zone should come in and pop, and they are far away from me, this is Sanok. It could be really, really delicate. But it's lovely to see that we are seeing 10x already setting up on top of this hill right now, and ooh, even the height is not doing them that much of giving them that too much of an advantage right now as they are trading knocks back and forth right there. You love to see it as we got the guys from final verdict. Actually, they're actually defending themselves, but it's gonna take a while for them to be able to make their way up towards this position. Oh, they are fighting on two fronts, Tony.
Ooh, man, it's like a three-way fight between them, 10x, and DT
Dream
as
team, yeah.
well. Just being in this position right now, it's really tough for 10x. They've got to be careful. They've got DT on their trail as well as Final Verdi. There's nowhere to escape. It's like party after party in every single corner. They probably can't reach onto Bipolar, who might be thirsted right there by King, but King get does reverse back to his teammates, and Lucy Stark and the rest. They got to be careful right now on how they make this push, right? How they approach the guys from 10x, because the guys from FV just sitting down right there might be looking to take them out from the third party. So we'll be curious to see how they do play this one. The guys from 10x are not holding back. They're popping out the smokes to give them some cover right there as they do try to attack the guys from DT, and they're holding it off. But knowing a map like Sandhawk, you don't want to do this for too long.
Yeah, exactly what I was just about to see right there because this is Sanok. Anything can happen at any point in time right now. Rix is going to be risking a lot right there, making that quick move around onto Bipolar. I think he's actually going to be able to get the revive. Interesting. Love to have
Oof.
teammates like that are willing to go through thick and thin to actually, bring you back up. Oh, you lost him. Oh,
Yeah,
that is.
he
Oh, no,
did
no, no,
try.
no. You don't know. He got him
Oh,
back
he
up.
did.
My
He
bad.
did. Oh,
My bad.
wow.
He got him back up. Bipolar is back and active in the game.
That was
Evening,
risky, man. That was
the odds
risky.
are just back in their favor right now. FV is pushing up into
Oh.
no, don't do that.
Look at Evie. Look at Evie. Look at that move. Evie just pulling up right there, getting a knock onto Archer and buying some time for 10. for 10x, by the way, because now the focus is on FV as they do get another knock
Ooh,
right there. You can see Storm has actually gotten
nice.
taken down. King is down as well, and the guys from FV are just putting up onto this one and going absolutely wild. It just seems like
Wow.
Juliet and Weiss have done the work and taken out the guys from DC, just pouncing in at the right time, but also giving the guys from 10x the time to just retreat away from that one and get into a better position.
Interesting. That didn't turn out, that didn't really go the way I thought it was going, because Dream Team was looking really strong on that one. But at the point, um final verdict was just like, hey guys, these guys have been going at it all day long. Let's just go spoil the party right now. Not much to lose on this one, because you know we
Hmm.
could just go in there, take a couple of shots, maybe get killed or something. But
Hmm.
it is what it is.
Hmm.
We've not been playing this for too long, and they just went in and he actually worked in their favor. That aggression came in really, really handy, and they were able to take down that squad right in front of them. Then you can see with 5 team kills to their name right now, it's looking really good as they are still seated pretty nicely in the center of the circle, and they've smelled blood and they want
Ooh.
more, bro.
MV putting in the work right there, getting another knock onto 10x and taking him down. It's just now down to just the Don and Rich to find a way to fight it out. I do feel like DT was just absolutely stunned right there because they were expecting to be fighting the guys from 10x who were at a disadvantage, and most likely didn't expect the guys from FV to be pulling up from that position
Whoa.
with the knowledge of them. But you can see why it's going all around and getting that knock again onto another player from 10x. I do believe 10x is down to just 2 players right now. And you can see the guys
Yeah.
from FV are not holding back. They've gotten themselves 10 kills so far. Looking to see if they can get this team wiped out. And this is exactly what we spoke about, right? You know, a couple of these teams, whether you're winning the game or not, just grabbing those kill points is the most important thing for you to do. You just got to be aggressive. You just got to make those push. And yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. If they can finish, this game with a 10 kill, and maybe a fifth position, sometimes doing that, twice can be equals to, just grabbing one winner with a chicken dinner and a
Yeah.
few kills. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The kills are way, they are also as important as the placement point, I must say, because many a times I've seen teams that finished with 10, 15, 17 kills in like sixth place, and then still end up in like second place on the overall standings, if you get what I'm saying. Like they've been actually able to like bring themselves up by the number of kill points they've accumulated throughout the games, by not just waiting around letting the zone do the job for them. And it's just amazing to see our final verdict is they've woken up to that call and they want to take that kill point with all the advantage. Like they just want all the kill points to themselves right there. So right now we can see it's going to be Mars just sitting. I think IB7, my bad. IB7 is going to be sitting over here with us, not too far away from them. Yeah, Tony, what do you think about what IB7 has got going right now, though?
I mean, they're just keeping that position, looking to, take on the guys from Hawes. Hawes is one of those teams that, last season I was expecting to see them move, up into the Umzansi, coming up against teams like, um, um, what was their name? Magicians and, KHK. They were holding their own in, a couple of fights. So I was really surprised to see that they didn't make it all the way up. But now, right here, what do you think are their chances, to move up?
Which team are you talking about? Ours or
Hawes,
IB7?
Hawes.
Hmm. To be honest, yeah, I don't, I can't really say much right now about us, because they've not really been given too much of a solid performance through the course of the particular this season. I must say, season 4 has not seen much of the Oz Esport. I must say so. At this point, probably they could just use the rest of the weeks to try and get that weekly prize, get some more money in the pocket, and then train in anticipation for that next season. That is all I can really say about Oz Esport at this point.
Yeah, exactly. exactly. Maybe just get some confidence around their fights, and who knows, maybe they might be able to sneak in that qualification. But you do see the guys from Mars just holding them off as they do need to cross over to that zone. They got the number disadvantage. That's a really tough one for them. But IB7 just holding them up all the way across there. It's going to be really tough for them to cross all the way. I do know that position. It's very difficult sometimes, while you have that other team who's just waiting it out right there for you. Um, but the guys from IB7 have like a free way to cross over, but they got to do it now because BGE all the way from bootcamp is also making that push into that zone, and they might be able to come across them, as well. So yeah, we're curious to see how they do play this one. But you do see the guys from Horse, crossing over to those buildings, while IB7 was pretty much just retreating into the buildings close to the bridge. Now that bought Ahmed and Sabi the opportunity to get into that zone. So we're gonna be seeing, a close encounter from these two teams coming down any moment from now.
Hmm. Yeah, this sneaky game coming in from us, they could catch IB7 slacking at any point in time. You can see the needs already coming up. And IB7 is actually moving as a unit, which is not a bad thing, but at the same time, it's really difficult, especially if a need gets more than one of the players. You can see, IB7 sending a need forward. What? 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 Oh my God.
Damn.
Wow. That went south really, really quickly, bro.
Man, exactly. That went south super, super, super fast. All right, so SCV is scavengers, right? If I'm correct,
I
do you believe so?
I don't know. Their team tag is actually not updated. I'll probably
Okay,
check that up along the line.
okay. But we do see the guys from SCV, trying to make their way up into the zone right now. I do believe they're not too far away from UAE as well, who's also trying to make a rotation into that zone. They've gotten a couple of knocks along the way, but it's going to be really tough for UAE as they do get into. I do believe that's a boat. They're trying to use a boat to cross over to that zone where you do see the guys from MZR, and Your Killer Is who won the first game. So yeah, a couple of teams are looking to make their way into that spot. BGE is already beginning to get into that central spot, very close to FV. I like to see a fight coming down between those two guys because those are like FV has been aggressive in this game. BGE was sort of aggressive in the last game, so I'd be curious to see who actually does win that battle between the two of them.
Yeah, in as much as we've got FD been really as they don't shy away from taking those fights. I know BJE does seem to be a bit on that higher tactical advantage, although they are taking a bit of fire right now. So Reverb is already down, and it's actually been confirmed by Wise as well. So maybe at this point in time, aggressive is going to be beating tactical. You never can say, but that fight is still
Yeah,
ongoing. We'll love to see how it's going to turn out. And then I believe I just checked right now, SCX would be no escape. That is no escape. And yeah, this is still yet another fight that is happening in the zone. What is going on right now? Yeah, well, it was what he shot. It was what he shot, but it goes down real quick to the enemy right there. RDX trying their best to actually make their way into the zone right now. Making that royal demo walk into the zone is going to be a difficult one. Delusion currently, bleeding off on this axis right there. The next one has popped, and yep, the teams RDX they have their work cut out for them because it's just IB7 on the other side waiting for them. Oh, Tony. Okay. Oh.
and it's looking like it's almost suicidal right now for the team RDX as they're pretty much just gatekept at this particular point in time. You can see the guys from IB7 are looking to grab those kills, grab those extra points. They've already gotten themselves 7 kills. They're looking to grab a whole lot more and sitting down in the position where they are at in that leaderboard. Each and every single one of these points counts for them, and is probably enough for them to just keep maintaining their position. They don't need to grab that winner chicken dinner. Just maybe a 6 or 3 placement points. Grabs them grabs them 10 points at the end of the day. So they, from for me, yeah, they've pretty much done almost enough to stay comfortable, and make it across, on that relegation promotion.
Yeah, to be honest, I even feel like if they don't play the last this week and the last week, they will still be in pretty good standing. But I'm pretty sure they've got their eyes set on that number one spot as they are currently sitting in the second place behind the guys from BBC, I think, and they've got about 10 points difference. And I don't think the BBC has not been able to actually make it into this week's game, so that might be their chance to actually take that number one spot back, and it's just going to be left to week 8 for them right now. UAE also will be trying to make their way in, having lost one player earlier on. Oh no, they are not looking good right now. UAE is having a bad day, I must say. That's two down
Man,
just.
Man, it's looking like a lot of these teams are just telling themselves, you know what, UAE and BGE were all up in our grill, in the last games, and we're going to go at them, because I did see the guys from IB7 did look like they took out BGE just now, and got them sent to the lobby. There were a whole lot of teams, fighting against them, but now MZ are down to just one player, which is Nova. He's still trying to fight it out. He
What?
does take them out. His HP is really low,
It's
but
just
the
one
other
guy
player, I
left.
do believe the last player, his HP is also low as well. You can see Spectre's HP
Wait, jump
is
shot.
really low.
Did he
If
get him?
he's
Did he
oh
get him?
so
He
close,
did!
and he does.
What? What? Nova! Bruh. Nova just did a full team clutch right now onto UAE, a 1v3 as they were pushing up onto him. Takes down the first one coming into the zone, takes down the remaining two that were pushing up onto him. That was just beautiful, bro.
Man, I didn't expect to see that, especially with the way his HP was. But you see, these guys are just like I said, they're just like, you know what, these guys have been terrorizing us. They've been making those OP game plays against us, and we're just gonna fight back, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
These guys are stepping it up. They've gotten themselves a whole lot of kills, and your killer is capitalizing on that right now. They're also one of those experienced teams. As you can see, they are trying as much as possible to take out Nova and his teammates. And you can see that's exactly what happens when you come into that zone quite late. And IB7, just take a look at them. They've gotten themselves 11 kills. They took out a couple of teams while they were making it into that zone. Now they've turned their sights onto your killer is,
Killer
and they're showing
is.
exactly why they are sitting down in that spot in that second space spot. You
Wow.
can see them take out the guys from Your Killer Is. And this is what you expect from guys who are looking now, not just to qualify. No, 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 no. They're looking to say, look, we are IB7. We are the big boys. You understand?
Yeah, yeah, it's really nice to see them, step it up right now for a bit of third party is taking a huge toll on them right now. Something huge is touching them, I must say. And Chaos King as well. They've got 2 kills up, not too really good on that kill department, but taking a couple of damages right there from Final Verdicts. Final Verdicts with just 2 man up right now, 12 kills to their name, aggressing up on a full squad and looking to actually eliminate them as Chaos King is trying to take it slow. They're trying to get that get themselves back in the fight. I see Final Verdict also doing the same right now, just having that reset real quick as the names are going to be coming out, the picks as well. Oh my, see what you love to see, love to see, love to see. It's a really tight knit fight right now. FV versus the guys from what the what? Where are these shots coming in, bro?
Ooh.
He comes in and final verdict is
Oh,
out.
oh my goodness. The guys
Wow.
from Chaos putting in the work right there and taking them down. We're now down to 4 teams left. You can see the guys from DW still holding a full squad. They've gotten themselves only about 3 kills, but the number advantage might be looking to work out for them. I do believe IB7 is still in this. I think they're still just with a 2-man squad. So it's a 4v2v2.
Yeah, it's a 4v2v1. Four
Mm,
two two one, I think.
what to
That's
one?
6 8 10. Yeah, 4 2 2 1.
Okay.
Interesting. Wow. So well, it's actually amazing to see that there's a particular team that has managed to bring a full squad up into this kind of late game, I must say. And even though they've got a full squad up, I don't see them actually controlling that much angles. Really, they are not really putting themselves in such a position to control that much angles. They are really they are on the edge of the zone. Probably would be able to get it done. And check it out, Trix is actually making an aggressive move onto their position right now, which they should not allow anybody to
Ooh.
do onto them right there, because they've got wow Jinx. Yep. So now, see, they are getting aggressed upon by IB7. IB7 is already pushing up into their positions, and Tech Radar is really taking the hit right now. Oh no, Tricks, what did you do? But nice one from Alzify. Alzify comes in from that angle and aggressive, really nice onto him. That's a nice gameplay right there. Chaos King looking strong in this one as they'll be getting their revive on, and the full squad just
Ooh.
got taken down. See what I just said. They were not positioning themselves in points of power to take down the enemies, and well, that is gonna be Chaos King. Wow, never did expect that one, but he was really worth it for them.
And that was absolutely close. I actually did see the guys from Chaos King take over that one at the end of the day, but IB7, just take a look at the amount of kills they did have in that one. They had
17,
themselves 17 kills.
17,
17.
bro.
And they came back to this one on fire.
Mm-hmm. I was saying IV7. These boys, they are not here to joke.
And
I think that first place they've got their eyes set on it. Like, we are taking this one.
uh, yeah, with this
Yeah.
they might be on top for the day.
Yeah, yeah, it was a cool game. Like the way they cleaned the UAE off, it was interesting. They were furious at them, so they wanted them out. Hey, UAE is on the target right now because the teams want them out. I think an IV7. What? They were furious today. What happened today? They were really like on position. They wanted blood today. It was really cool to see them finally wake up. What did you think, Viper, about this game?
Yeah, looking at this particular game, I must say IB7, the team IB7 actually aired you in the first game, talking about them, that they what happened to them and whatnot, and it got angry and decided to show you that yo, we were just chilling in the background, but this time around we'll show you why we've got the name IB7, and they did come in with a lot of shot, the ta 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 ta, left, right, and center, being able to take down every single opponent in their path, and get themselves that much kills, 17 kills. That
Yeah,
was
yeah. It
amazing.
was really really interesting. What did you think, Viper? I said Viper Fire. Viper Fire. The
Yeah,
same intonation.
I mean, I was surprised. I'm not even. I mean, I know IB7 is high up on that leaderboard, but coming in today, I was expecting to see guys like BGE, UAE, absolutely boss the lobby. But IB7 has brought in that fire that obviously shows why they're in, the spot they're in right now. And yeah, I mean, they're definitely now one of those teams. After seeing that performance, that will be stuck in my mind. Like, okay, I want to see what they do next.
Yeah, so we're gonna see what they do next after the little break that we're gonna take. We're gonna let us drink some water and come back fresh for these standings and to see what they are going to do in the third game. After we're gonna see who's on top and who is not with the final standing. So we're going to push to a short break and you see you right after. À tout à l'heure. Welcome back, everyone. It is the Inkosi Super Cup Season 4. We are on week 7. Almost done with the Inkosi Super Cup this season. So, what do you feel about this season, Viper? We were together for most of the games. What did you think about these teams? Who do you feel is going to go to the promotion relegation?
That is such a beautiful question, I must say. But so far as we can see, a couple of teams have actually, stood out from week 1 up till date. What you have mentioned is going to be Blackjack Esport, of course, coming in around week 4, I believe, and already, climbing their way to that top 6 position. And also really, really what your position right now in that first place as of week 6, I believe, is going to be the guys from BBCX, IB7 also not looking too bad on their side with that second place, I think about 143 points out there. So we are seeing a lot of teams actually, doing beautifully out here. It's going to be UAE as well in that spot as well. So these teams that I'm looking to see them in that promotion relegation league as well as Unzamzi, hopefully.
Okay, so Fire, you can take us through to the standings. I like when you do it.
Yeah, sure. All right, so IB7 coming out on top in that last one. You saw them grabbing a whole lot of kills, getting 17 kills. Even though they came second place, they were still able to grab the maximum amount of points by getting those kills right there. Chaos Kings doing well for themselves, just lighting up towards that end and getting themselves, that first position. Final Verdict, who were the guys who just lit up against several different teams like DT, like 10x up on that mountain, and just grab themselves a whole lot of kill points. Even if they didn't place too high, you can see them with the amount of kills they had being in third position right there. Overwatch Esports as well, getting themselves a good placement. Royal Demo and the rest of the Royal Demo getting themselves also good placements right there, sitting with 11 points. MZR and the rest of the guys like Your Killer is didn't grab as much points as they would have hoped because they just sharing close points right there from 6, 5, 4, 3, 1. And then moving on to the next page, you can see obviously guys like BGE are sitting down in the next page right there with just 1 point. And for a team that was going absolutely wild in the first game, this is obviously not going as well as they would have hoped. But we did see guys like IB7 just absolutely dominate them, early on during that game, and just prove that they deserve to be on top of the table right here. It's been a tough one for several different teams like Knock and Lobby, Aussie Esports, Dream Team, who we saw battling it out on top of the mountain. You can see that they got no points here, but it doesn't tell the full story as it was just absolutely wild coming in from FV against them. So we'll be hoping to see how they all do in this one and see if they find a way to get back.
Yeah, the dream team has to wake up because if they don't, the chicken dinner will stay a dream for them. So we are looking at IB7, Chaos X, Final Verdict. Your killer is UAE, Blackjack Esports. They are the contenders today. They are the most performative today. So we're gonna see how they are gonna perform for the last game. I think we're gonna see some surprises because some of the team will be a little bit stressed about these results. So they have to wake up. So for my French speaking audience, ce que je raconte, c'est que les équipes que j'ai citées, c'est pas la peine que je les cite en français encore. Vous avez déjà entendu toutes ces équipes-là, c'est les équipes qui ont été les plus fortes pendant les 2 premiers jeux, donc on les observe bien. Maintenant, pour savoir qui sera à la relegation, promotion relegation, ça veut dire le jeu qui va leur permettre plutôt d'aller à la Umzansi League où il y a plus de choses à gagner. Donc, on va voir ce qui va se passer. We're gonna see what's will happen with these teams today. And what do you feel, Viper? What's your prediction for this last game? Because we saw some teams getting mad, killing UAE even at the beginning of the game to get rid of them really soon. So, what do you think? Do you think UAE will wake up, or do you think they will be snatched away by some other team also?
At this point, I want to mention the name of a team, but right now, I don't want a repetition of what happened in San Hawking, which we ended up jinxing a couple of these teams out there. But I would say uh, some of the teams that performed really, really good, and Erangel, I'm hoping to see them perform really, really good in this particular one. So if you know what I'm talking about.
So take us away right now.
Alrighty then, Tony.
All right, so moving into this game, you can see a flight path that's pretty much just divided within that center, coming up all the way from that northeast region towards that southwest right there in Valdemar. And yeah, Viper, this gives a lot of teams the opportunities to just spread it out. It's a big map in Miramar right here, so there's a lot for teams to work with. But somehow, just somehow, every single time, I don't know the juju where they work, but teams just seem to find themselves early on in Mirama.
My brother, that's so it dey build. But the thing with Miramar is, even though it's a really, really large map, you have certain areas be having like concentrated loot. So most of these teams would do love to, earlier on in the game, just want to land in that particular space where they would get weapons to fight with and throwables and whatnot. And if they end up going to somewhere where they will not be getting enough artilleries and whatnot, it's going to be a bit difficult for them to actually navigate themselves through the rest of the game. So this happens to, a couple of these spots are going to be attraction spots to a lot of the teams. Yeah, so you see that's why you will see a couple of these teams landing together early on in the games.
Yeah, and you can see right there, just around that Valdemar, there are a couple of teams. I do believe about three teams who are within those regions. It does look like one of them is going to be going all the way towards Minas del Sur right there. But we do have two teams who have landed close to each other. There must be one amongst who are a stubborn bunch who will decide, you know what, we are going to land here. We're going to fight for this spot. And that's exactly what they're doing. You see the guys from MZ are, of course, right next to, I do believe that's DT. And yeah, we might be seeing the fight coming down between the two. DT has got a lot to prove for themselves as they did not grab any points in that last game. So this is the defining moment for them. It is tough already making it into the lobby every single week. So while you're here, do try as much as possible to grab yourself as much points as you can.
Yeah, that's the goal of the game. Oh. But right now, those seems like final verdict are already starting up again. As you can see them sending a couple of nades towards no escape. Will escape with no escape be able to get an escape on this one? I do love the fact that Mad Bro is actually anticipating where the grenades are going to be landing and moving out of the way just in the nick of time. Love to see it, beautiful awareness right there from Mad Bro. But Wise does seem to be on the active hunt as he's still moving forward, looking to see if he could get a couple of shots into the enemy, probably get a knock or two. And it's still the early game of Miramar. I will still got a full 15 teams up alive. It's what you love to see, Tony.
Yeah, definitely. Look, it's a big map. There's a lot of space. There's a lot of builders to work with. Miramar builders are one of the hardest, I think, in the entire game to push. Because even though you get a knock onto one of the teams, except they're pretty spaced out just the way it is right now, it's so hard to push into to those buildings to get those confirms because they could heal up and at the same time uh get fully back up on their health before you can push back into those buildings. But the way SCB, Mad Brew, and the rest of his teammates are positioned right now, they're in separate buildings. And if FV does get one knock using a nade or so, could definitely change the entire outcome for this game. As SAV has come into this one with a three-man squad, so they got to be really careful on how they make that push here.
Yeah, they have to be careful. But I think I saw Fruit trying to make a pro move there, but doesn't seem like he's going to be going forward with it. He wanted to go onto that rooftop. I probably was unable to access that rooftop. But if he had been able to access that rooftop, he might have been able to get an angle onto Madbro right now. Yeah, this is one of the things in early games when you end up landing with yet another team. You end up, spending a whole lot of time just exchanging bullets back and forth, especially if you don't end up getting those shots to connect. It's just going to be more or less like you've wasted a lot of ammunitions and grenades, e-labels and whatnot. So most times early game battles might not be the best if you can't get to clear out your kills as early as possible. So at this point I would just say SCV and FV just needs to just reset and try and get as much loot as possible and position themselves properly.
Yeah, definitely what they do need to do. You do see the guys on Chaos not too far away from BGE as well. Are we going to see the fight coming down between the two right there, not too far from Picado? And yeah, several different teams are looking towards playing that center. But knowing Mirama, it's always dancing at Willow with several different teams. Just when you think you're in that central position, it just moves away from you. It could just like we could just see the next zone rotate around, Minas and Junkyard, and very few teams will be in that zone. But we'll be curious to see how it does play out within this one, as several teams are just coming up really close to each other. You see the guys from DT, have pulled away from that one. Just trying to get themselves into other spots within as they can move all the way to Chumasera, and that will be absolutely free for them. But I'm not sure if they're aware right now. But there's still a couple of buildings that they can work with. So it's a Mirama map. That's definitely what you do expect. Um, teams just looting up and just taking it easy, as well as the guys from UAE who are pretty much not too far away. Fala, they will also be looking to rotate into that spot. You do see a couple of teams like RDX, Your Killer is who they take away the first game, looking to now get into their vehicles and rotating quite quickly. So it does look like Viper. A lot of these teams are just telling themselves, hey, you know what, we don't want to be caught slacking, towards that end zone. Let's all get into good spots right now.
Yeah, I can see a lot of the teams, just as you said, already sitting pretty inside that good spot. Dream Team is also making their way towards at least a reasonable spot. That you can see them coming in from down south right there. 10x Esports as well is coming in from that northeastern part, moving further deeper into that zone with RDX not too far away from them. And at this point, I feel like the zone is probably going to pull a quick one on some of these teams, especially like UAE sitting on that southeastern part. Probably your killer is as well. I feel like he's just going to pull a really fast one and pop towards. I suspect probably that northwestern side. That is what I'm guessing right now, and just forcing a lot of these teams to just pack up and try to make their way into the zone. And that is where it is going to really, really get interesting and tough because you can see we've got already some teams set up in that region, and it's not going to be too difficult for Blackjack Esports to also make their way further in because they've set themselves in the premises of wherever the zone is going to pop this time around. We're either not going to be too far off or we are going to be sitting right at the center of it. So I think Blackjack Esports might actually just be doing a little bit better in terms of positioning in this particular game.
Yeah, definitely. All of these guys will be looking to now get to that favorite spots as the zone is shifting in right now. We do see the guys from BT as well, really close to DT. BT close to DT. So who's going to be the number one T amongst these two T's? As you, you see Gosby, Gosby, one of the players from DT does retreat away from that spot, looking to enter into a better position, and that's exactly what he does as Godsby and need to do get taken down right there. That's what you expect from being in a flank position. And now they're getting taken down. DT getting themselves at least a couple of points right there that are
Ah,
already better than the last game.
that's actually really you did see what the plan they had there. That's a really really massive IQ play right there. It was more or less like a faker for them. The BT was pushing in. They only spotted one of BT, and then the one they spotted got in a vehicle and pushed out of that position, making them think, oh yeah, we're free to actually rotate around that, but not knowing that Archer was just waiting in the back like, hey, yo, what's up? How you doing? And then they came around and he started popping off real quick. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
really.
Chaos King is going to be on the receiving end right now, bro. Right in between us. Ha.
How
Boom.
is Mipan not knocked down? I mean, I can understand Minato, but how was he not knocked down there? All right, you still see the guys from Horse on the in the hunt right now, as you can see
Ooh.
Falcon making that move and Ahmed as well looking to take them down, and Mipan does get sent back into the lobby right there, but also just as they say, there's no rest for the wicked, as the guys from IB7 do come up right here and decide to show them and do pop out them shots right there. But they've not been able to take out any players from Horse so far. We're going to be seeing a push coming down from the guys from IB7 who were on top in the last game.
Yeah, so I don't know, to be honest, yeah. Just now, as I saw the gameplay that came out from us, I was just about to say the setup they had in that particular position was actually really nice. They created some sort of like a pocket in between the hill and the small compound that's over here, and then it was almost as though they were setting up an ambush like a trap. And there's actually the team actually fell straight into it, driving right in the middle of that. They were able to take down um that that those that pass through that position quite easily as well, because you are probably running away from gunshots right behind you, and then you run into more up ahead, just waiting willingly with information getting fed to them from their teammate. But right now they did not overly account for this angle that IB7 is coming in from right now, forcing them to actually make some sort of retreat right now, just leaving that particular compound open to IB7 to take on to. They need to really figure out how they would rotate around these hills really quickly, because if IB7 can pick up one or two knocks into this one, might be some push coming up right there. Oh no, oh no, oh no.
Oh, and that's exactly what IB7 is looking for, just waiting for that moment where they can get one or two knocks to be looking to make that push. For me, I feel like at this point in time, they're just probably going for this week's money. It's really not about qualifying for them, because they've already done that, right? They just want
Yeah.
to get that extra cash, because it is weekly. If you're just joining the streamer, you don't know about that. The price pool is every week. They've gotten one knock
Me,
onto.
I predicted it right.
Ooh,
My prediction was OP.
okay, the zone.
Yes, he
Okay,
was too OP.
look at Hacienda. Like if IB7 pulls back into Hacienda, then they've gotten themselves like a
Oh
really
my
strong
man.
position.
They just chop everybody.
Hmm.
Ha. Yeah, this is just lovely. Imagine if I was playing in this game and as an IGL I had predicted that and then made the move to go deeper into that zone. Oh my god, my teammates will be calling me God by now. Like it's
I'm
just
telling you,
beautiful.
those are the
Yeah,
kind of
but
situations
yeah,
that IGLs love. But take a look at it. You can see the storm coming in from several different teams like DW, MZR, looking to make their way into that same position within Hacienda.
yeah.
Ooh, see FV again going against BGE. My
Come on.
goodness.
FB are out here to really make a statement to do. Like we've not been around for quite a while, but we are definitely going to bring the heat today that we finally got to make it into the game 9 for today. Oh boy. Oh more. It's amazing to see it. But I do love one thing I love about this particular lobby, this set of teams that we have out here, Tony, is the fact that they react really, really quickly to zone changes.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. But now moving into the spots, you can see the guys on MZR, they've moved around Hacienda, and obviously what that's going to do is it's going to bring on, fights, between teams right here. You can see the guys on DW, Creature, Trick Shot, up against Blood and Nova, and yeah, it's all down to who does get that first knock between these two teams, and we might be seeing the push go down between them. But we're curious to see how that one actually plays out. But I do also see one of the players from BT,
Yeah.
coming into this mix as Hinata
No.
does drive by. For me,
No.
really surprised that Hinata has still survived. Like I'm just waiting for it. I'm still waiting for it. I'm taking a look at it at the map, and Hinata is still going on. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there was like a special agreement between the teams not to take Hinata out, but definitely it is what it is. And
Yeah.
Hinata does survive that one.
Yeah, it's at that point though. I feel like one of these other teams down here, MZR or Infinito and his squad, might have decided to just come out to take the shot at Inata, but they know that there is a team up top. IB7 is up on top of that hill with a bird's eye view onto their position, so they will be like, "Yo, let that one kill go, please. We can't afford to lose one squad member for just one kill point." So I reckon that was why Inata was able to actually, make that rotation out, and the next zone has
Yeah.
already popped. Wow.
Yeah, there are those situations where your IGR is just screaming at you, "Don't go," and you actually, just want to go out, get that easy kill, but he sees something that you're not seeing. That
Yeah.
obviously is one of those situations right there. We just see the guys from DT who made like a really long rotation now right next to the guys from UAE. So the question they will probably be asking themselves is, who did we offend when we made this rotation? We're looking to be away from several different teams, but now we find ourselves really close to the guys from UAE, and there are a whole bunch of teams around them while they look to make their way into that zone. So it's still not tough. It's still not easy for them. Taking a look at the position where the guys from IP7 are seated at right now, they can begin to put in the damage, but you also see the guys from DW, who I do believe BGE pushed up onto their position. Um, they've taken out Val, they can begin to push on to the next guys from BGE, but BGE showing why they are still a big team as MG and Cheddar are putting in the work right there and do get a knock onto Creature. It is now just left with uh Infinito. I believe it's Infinito.
Yeah,
Um
I feel like, these Overwatch guys, these OW guys, they need
mm,
to,
sorry, Overwatch, yeah. That looks
yeah,
like a D. Sorry.
yeah, they need to, I feel like they need to work more on their communication and aggressive
Mm,
skills. They play it a little bit too chill. Because at that point in time, it was basically three of them on MG before Chida was able to come in right from the back, get that angle in onto them. And they were just playing it so chill. I feel like they should have used that numbers to their advantage, get the shots in, the drop into onto MG right now. But check it out, BGE, Blackjack Sport has been able to actually get that reset, and they are actually they do seem like they are going in for that kill. They are going in for the push right there. They also have their research right now, but it's going to be a 3v3. I love to see how that one is going to be turning out real quick. What do you think is going to be winning this encounter, though?
Man, my money is definitely on BGE. I do feel like the guys from Overwatch have taken their time in this particular one. As you can see, they've gotten down one knock. It is another one. They do get a knock onto Val. Maybe they might make BGE. They might punish BGE for this, and they certainly do that. But at the end of the day, BGE does come on top right there. I do feel like it's exactly what you said. They didn't play it quite aggressive enough. They probably should have pushed up onto MG early on if they had taken him while he was alone in this building. Then maybe that might have bought them some time. The guys from BGE might not have pushed on that aggressively into their position, and it would have saved them, getting in that late head right here.
Yeah, and funny thing is, they are actually the first team out of the lobby.
What?
Exactly.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah. And majority of these teams out here still have at least 3 to 4 players up alive. So this is looking to be a really, really tough final zone like cooking up right now. Your killer is UAE looking at each other right now. Oh no, they are just trading knocks left, right, and center. Isa's got to be careful right there. That Overwatch coming in from Shroud off in the distance is just amazing right now. UAE taking a lot of damage to these draws right there from your killer is, and it's, oh no, the push is coming in right now. It's gonna be 1v1. Sahil versus your what? That is a squad wipe from your killer is a draw squad wipe.
Man, these guys are absolutely on fire, taking out UAE from that game. I mean, I'm not sure what exactly it is, but I'm just being surprised, man. I'm feeling, I'm
What?
looking at all these teams and I'm seeing them just stepping it up and just going absolutely wild versus, the guys from BGE and, UAE. So a lot of times I'm expecting to see, the guys from UAE really step it up, but right now
Come
these
on.
guys are proving me wrong, and they put it in the work right here. But you just see the guys from Yoki that is trying to rotate, into that zone right there. But they just come in between two teams. You got the guys from RDX, NFX as well, but they're just down to only Krish. The guys from RDX may be looking to just finish this one out right here. Can Krish get some revives onto his teammates just in time, while the guys from RDX Delusion and his teammates are looking to push onto that position. They're not making an aggressive push right now. They're just trying as much as possible to play cautious, but they're not exactly sure how many people have been taken down. They've
Yeah.
been able to get back at least one res so far. So I still feel like this is the right time to push. There's a time to be aggressive and there's a time to hold back. And this is definitely one of those times when you should actually be pushing onto that team.
Yeah, I reckon he's pretty sure of Crick's position and he's going to use the nade to his advantage. And as well, see why it was actually quite wise for them not to have pushed up, because right now NFX is in such a position where Chaos King FB is looking towards their position and getting the shots into them right now. Only the smokes are keeping them alive. You can see actually it's just Cree left up alive right now. Oh my man! Imagine if they have pushed up out to the open right there. Might have just in the sight of NFX. And well, that's gonna be RDX coming in, and see what I was saying. Poseidon finally pushing up, but it's getting armored on really closely right there. Delusion will be giving him some cover right from the back, which is what you love to see. They're perfect team synergy coming in right there. Oh no, there's not much you can do. What? Final verdict just got taken out by us. Interesting. Final verdict has been putting in a lot of aggressive work recently, but us is gonna put an end to that with a total of 8 team kills to them right there, which is what you love to see. Zone 5, 22 minutes into this one, and the zone is really tiny. 21 players alive, 20. It's tough right now.
Yeah, definitely tough. I do feel like it's about to go absolutely wild. I've seen some surprises in this game so far with UAE getting taken out. They didn't really have kind of day they would have obviously expected. For me,
Yeah.
it was just that first game. But I do believe they came in second or third place. Not sure. Okay, yeah, it was second place where they really did well. But now, just taking a look at this right now, you do see several different teams like Hos Esports, IB7 still in this one, BGE still with MG right there, 10X as well. All of these guys are looking to move into that very difficult and open space that is that zone. But IB7 have lost one player. They've got Frag 7 down. They're still in this. The third party coming in right now, which leaves only Frag Boy up for their team. But he's still putting in the work right there, still fighting it on. Frag Boy still fragging out for his team as he is trying to get that revive. Ahmed coming into this one, running. Obviously, his teammate is screaming, "They're reviving. He's low. He's low." As he does push up
I can
onto that
imagine.
position and clears the rest of the players from IB7.
Yeah. Yeah, this is where it gets really really crazy right now. Not much of cover to work with for the teams. You can see BGE Blackjack Esports holding different angles, trying to get as much information to stay alive as possible. And we've got no escape actually making it into this final top 7 right now. Dream Team is still got one player up alive. That is Archer. Archer could actually play like spoiler right now for the guys from 10x, but nope. As he goes down real quick to Logic. Logic sourcing him out right behind. It's going to be Poseidon being yet another threat to 10x from that angle. They are wide open to him, but no, if they turn around, that is going to be a couple of shots. But he's done the damage. I think he's just one man alive right now and breathing. For the guys from 10x, they need to get that revive on really quickly before the rest of the squads around pick up the scent of blood on them right there. As you can see, No Escape is also dealing with a lot of damages on their axis as they are currently leaking up their own. BJE and us does seem to be the two teams right now that are not taking much of damages, but they've just got two players alive, Tony.
Yeah, definitely. BGE, I'm surprised that they're still in this one. They still been fighting on and managed to get themselves into that zone, into that good spot. And you have two players who have a whole lot of experience in sealing games, MG and Cheddar. Will now be getting into that zone. It's a really tough one. It's just really open right here. A couple of teams around them, so we'll be curious to see how they do make their way in. They got to utilize those smokes and get into those positions. But for me, it is down to teams like SCV and 10x to lose that position that they have as they do turn the sights onto Chaos and get a knock right there. Halsey Spots is also behind of Chaos. If they do push up onto that position, it does change a whole lot of things.
Wow. Yeah. So a moment ago, 10x was on a full squad, and then within a blink of an eye, they lost two players right there, which they shouldn't have because I felt like some of the players got a bit greedy trying to grab some kills that were drew out in the open and then got knocked while they were trying to do that. But now we have got a two teamed you can see every single team is on just two players in a three-way right now, and it's going to be the guys from 10x Blackjack Esports right there off in the distance, and us as well. Each one of these team looking comfortable on kills. 11 kills right there from us. I think 10x is on like 7. I'm not completely sure about how much we've got on the guys from Blackjack Esports, but I'm pretty sure they would have a couple of kills as well to themselves. And each one of these teams are trying to make their way into the zone. You can see not too much cover to work with on each of these axes. 10x forced to eat the deck real quick as they are trying to make their way in. I do love the fact that Rix is already trying to make that angle in, but the Don is going to pick off BJE trying to come into this one, but no, just as that is happening, Falcon goes up, finds an high point position, spots Don in the distance. Tony, this is the point. This is where it's happening. Who do you think is taking this one home?
This is definitely that defining moment where you expect teams to just step it up. In a 2v2v2, you do see 10x in a whole lot of trouble as Risk, the last one for his team, does get taken out. This is where we now begin to see the guys from BGE hoping to step it up in this particular game. They've gotten themselves. Ooh, they got themselves knocked down as it's now just left with MG. We do see the guys from Hos just stepping it up. We're talking about Hos previously, how they've not been able to step up and show up in this particular game, but they do step up in this last game, grab themselves a whole lot of kills right there. We do see a total amount of 13 kills and that winner chicken dinner. It has been a crazy day with several teams stepping it up in different maps.
Yeah, really, really crazy day. See, Blackjack Esports also in that second position, even though they didn't have a good last game, but this time around they brought it back with 10 kills. Amazing one. And 10x also not doing too bad, I must say. At least they'll be able to, jump up a little bit on that leader, but they are currently sitting at
Hmm
10th place.
hmm
I think they're like 7 kills up that way. Yeah. So lovely, lovely gameplay coming in for them. And UAE not doing too good on this one with just 2 kills. It's not what
Yeah,
you
it was
love to see.
quite sad for UAE. Like UAE, we have to tell you, your killer is well, the team your killer is. They're they're really on fire.
They're your
They
killers.
wanted them points, and
You know?
then they're your killers. Huh? They told it. They already told it, and I didn't know we had the god of zone predictions here on the on the stream. Congratulations, we have to pay you for that. And what about IB7? Like they were wiped by a horse. This horse team is really, so it was really surprising today because Maybe it was kind of a vengeance because the second game they were killed by IB7 and now they killed IB7. This was a little vendetta, maybe, but they came out as winners, so I think it's a good vendetta for them. So, what did you think about the game Fire? It was crazy.
Yeah, that position that Horst took away from IB7 was really critical to them winning that final game, because once they did that, then they were you could see their position towards that end was, very key one where they could just wait it out while other teams were just fighting themselves, and then just be that team, to just clear out, whoever was left. And you saw that's exactly what worked for them, as Chaos and 10X were fighting. Then they just cleaned out 10X at the end of the day. And while BGE was already rotating into that zone, the health was already pretty low, they were already damaged to some extent, and they could just clean things out. So for me, yeah, it was a really good game. But they had to work for it by taking out, one of the best in the lobby, IB7.
Yeah. Viper, do you have any advice for some of those teams which didn't make it today? Like, I don't know, IB7. I'm always on IB7 because I was waiting for them to perform, but they were trapped. But do you have any advice for the other teams that were on the bottom of this game today?
Well, as I said, I think I mentioned this last week. For the teams that are not doing too well at this point, it could be as a result of being under pressure. It could be as a result of needing more training. But if it's under being under pressure or training, one of the things that would definitely help you to improve going forward would be to take each game not as a do or die affair. Just play the game to enjoy the game. It would have that seamlessness in it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Mhm.
it was. Well, I want to talk to my French speaking audience again. I love them. Hein. Je vous aime beaucoup. Donc, je dois bien vous expliquer ce qui se passe aujourd'hui. Donc, on a terminé le troisième jeu. Donc, on a vu que c'est House Horse plutôt qui est passé au premier plan. On n'a pas très bien compris hein, parce que le jeu d'avant, ils ont été tués un peu au début par ceux qu'ils ont tués justement dans ce game-là. Donc, c'était très intéressant à voir. Donc, ils sont passés au-dessus. On va voir leur position sur le score sheet tout à l'heure. Il y a aussi Your Killer Is qui nous a bien étonné aujourd'hui avec leur jeu assez agressif. Donc voilà, c'était très intéressant à regarder. On va voir les scores tout à l'heure. Et je vous rappelle encore et toujours, si vous voulez vous inscrire à la dernière semaine de la Inkosi Super Cup saison 4, c'est toujours l'occasion et vous pouvez toujours avoir un peu de ce chicken dinner avec les 45 ou 35 ou 15 dollars à gagner. C'est assez bien. So, I'm gonna let who I want. Do I want Tony? Do I want Fire? Well, Tony, let's go for the standings.
All right. So we do see the guys from Horse taking that one down. They got themselves about 13 kills and that 28 points at the end of the day. Blackjack Esports remaining consistent in this one and getting themselves 28 points as well, finishing with 10 kills in that one, 10x as well, doing quite well and getting themselves 17 points with 7 kills to the name. Chaos Kings also putting in the work in this one again, remaining consistent with 11 kills right there. No escape, just getting 10 placement points, not able to grab any kills, and Royal Demo X getting 7 points. The rest of the teams within here just manage 4 points each with Dream Team, IB7, Your Killer Is, and all. Final verdict, one of the teams who we saw doing quite well in today's lobby, not being able to grab many points right there, as they do finish with just 3 points. Undisputed, who got taken out by Your Killer Is, finishing with just 2 kill points right there. MZR with just 1 placement point. Blue Ties. Overwatch And Knocker Lobby not having a really good day as they do finish with just with no points. With no points at all.
Yeah. So for the weekly leaderboard, we see Blackjack Esports at the first place with 23 place points and 20 kills. Chaos X King with 21 place points and 14 kills. IB7, oh, with 13 place point, 21 kills. Your killer, he is really made honor to their name today. They killed, and that makes them fourth with 33 total point. Final verdict two. They were really performing today with 29 points. Horse Esports, who surprised us a lot with 28 total points. Undisputed Africa, who did really came down lately. So I don't know. They have to wake up a little bit because I think that they were first at some point, if I remember correctly. But now it's not enough, so they have to step it up. Then Esports with 22 total points, and we're gonna see the second page of week 7 leaderboard with teams like MZR Esports Africa with 22 total points, Royal Demo X 21 points, Overwatch Esports with 15 points, No Escape in NFX with 11 points, Dream Team, La Dream Team, 6 points seulement. For my French audience, La Dream Team, elle n'est pas vraiment au point, hein, la Dream Team de PUBG là. Mais bon, on verra bien. Blue Tides with 3 points and Knock and Lobby, who we only saw in the lobby. Maybe they have to change their name next time with 1 point, but we hope to see more of them maybe next week. Next week. So, yeah, so it's this is all for today's game. So we have the winners of our chicken dinners for this week, and you can see the updated overall leaderboard. Do you know where you can find them? Viper, do you know?
Could it
I'm not
be
doing
on not doing
gaming
gaming dot
dot
Africa? Yes.
Africa, yeah. I helped you a little bit. So you can see the score sheets over there. And remember, if you want to be part of the last week's games, if you're not on the list, you can still register for this last game and this last Lollapalooza of guns and and the kills on this PUBG. So this is all for today. So thanks for watching us. For my French speaking audience, vous avez déjà compris, hein, si vous voulez vous inscrire, voilà. Je ne vais pas répéter ça 56 fois. Vous voulez vous inscrire, vous venez vous inscrire, vous allez, tu sais tout. Voilà. So we're gonna see each other next week on Tuesday, inshallah. And I hope to see you in good health, everybody, and you, Tony, too. Yeah, and we're gonna see each other next week, and I hope you will be okay. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to Facebook and YouTube channel of Not Win Gaming Africa. Ciao.